Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. I hope all of you are doing well. So guys, in today's video, we'll see what are meta arguments in Terraform. So it is one of the most important topic of Terraform and we widely use these meta arguments when we code in Terraform. So let's start our today's video. So in this video, firstly, we'll see how many types of meta arguments are available in Terraform and what actually is the meta argument. So when we talk about meta argument, so firstly we have confusion that what is this meta argument. So meta argument is nothing. It is just like we can use it anywhere in Terraform code. And there are multiple types of meta arguments. So the very first meta argument that we have in Terraform is the count. So count basically we used in order to increment the value of the same type. Just like if we want to create 3 VMs or multiple VMs, then suppose if we want to create one virtual machine 2 and 3. So here we just increment it with the help of a number. So here we need to use an attribute of count, which is count.index. So I have explained how to create code and how to use it in my previous videos. So I'll put the description or I'll put a link of these videos in description for count. So count we have already covered. The second meta argument that comes is the for each. So for each is also one of the looping strategy that we can use in Terraform. And here we don't just not need to get limit on the number increment of VM creation. Now we want VM names to be of our choice, just like we want a dev VM, test VM, UAT VM. So we can give any name by using this for each loop. So this is the second meta argument, which is having two further attributes that we can use it each dot key, each dot value. So I have created one separate video for this for each. So I'll put the link in description of this video so that you can go through with this second meta argument. The third meta argument is the provider one. Here we can place which cloud provider we can use. So it is one of the most basic thing that we use whenever we do any kind of Terraform configuration. So this we have also covered in all of our video because we have used this provider.tf block. So here we have covered three meta arguments till now. The fourth meta argument, and that we'll discuss in our today's video, is the depends on. So why we use depends on? So suppose if we want to create dependency of one resource on another resource, so this depends on meta argument we need to use. So where it is required, suppose if you are creating any resource, it is having dependency. Just like in Azure, when we create any resource, firstly we need to create a resource group. But when we write code, we write the code in just in a flawless manner. And when Terraform get it execute, so there is no sequence. So suppose if virtual network is getting created first before the resource group, then there will be a code break. So in order to avoid all those situations, we need to create dependencies of resources. So we'll see in today's video how we can practically do it. And before proceeding to that practical demo, firstly let's just also cover the fifth argument or the meta argument in Terraform, and it is lifecycle. So lifecycle is also one of the important block that we place in Terraform code, and in resource block mainly we put it this kind of life cycle nested block. And what we can place here, just like there are certain life cycle block, looks like create before destroy, prevent destroy, ignore changes, and replace trigger by. And ignore changes mainly we use widely in our code whenever we need to troubleshoot something. So this will cover in our later video, but in today's video we'll cover how to use depends on. So let's proceed with our practical demo. Okay guys, so this is basically the code that we have used in our previous videos also. So in my previous videos, I have explained how to create this particular code and how to create complete connection between Terraform and your Azure Cloud, how to generate service principal. All these connectivity I have placed in my previous video. So I don't want to get this video very long. That's why I'm not placing all those content again and again. So I'm just using a very basic example of creating a virtual machine in Terraform. So step by step execution I have already shared in my previous video, but in today's video our focus is to use depends on, how we can use depends on in our code. So this is basically our code. So firstly we need to create resource group, then vnet, then subnet, then public IP, then network interface, and after that we need to do network security group creation, and then network security group and interface association. Then we need to proceed with the creation of virtual machine. So if we'll execute it in this manner, it may work, it may not work, but how to make sure that everything will go in sequence, so we need to use depends on. So how we can use it? So suppose virtual network is there, we want firstly the resource group to get create and then virtual network. So we'll go to virtual network section, and here we'll put a block depends on. So it is already coming in suggestion. So dependency needs to be made on this virtual network with resource group. So we can select here a resource group. So it will be just like resource group, that is basically the resource name dot its local name. Once it is done, now firstly resource group will get create, then virtual network will get create, and virtual network will not get create before resource group because there is a dependency. Similarly, we want to create this dependency with subnet, that vnet should create first. So we can place depends on here, and here we can select virtual network in its dependency. Similarly, in case of public IP, as we are seeing that it is dependent on location and then resource group. So its dependency is on resource group first because it is looking for resource group name. So we can make a dependency here with resource group. So this is also done. In case of network interface, we are seeing it's having dependencies with resource group. Along with that, it is having dependency on subnet ID. So what we can do, we can place a depends on block, and we can make two dependencies here. One is with a resource group, and second dependency we can put a comma, and then we can give it the dependency with subnet. So subnet is this one. So now it is having two dependency. So in the similar manner, we can make dependency on each and every resource. Like in case of security group, there is location and security group is required. So we can make a dependency on resource group here. So this is done. Similarly, in case of association, we need two things. One is network interface and one is security group ID. So here we can make depends on declaration, one with network interface. So this is the one, and then second one is your security group. So it is security group. So this is done now. So now in this way we can create dependencies related to each and every resource to another resource. So we are now done with the dependency. Now we can proceed with our ordinary commands that we use here, like terraform init. So it will firstly initialize all these things. So basically what it do, it will check the provider section and it will download the necessary providers. It will also check whether there is any backend or not. If not, it will use this machine as a local backend. Third thing, it will look whether there is any module or not. If there is not, it will proceed as it is, else it will initialize modules also. So firstly, it is doing its Terraform initialization, where it just do a .terraform folder creation and it is putting all those provider plugins inside it. Next we need to do is a Terraform plan. ठीक है, तो in Terraform plan it is now showing us the plan. Let me expand this video, or sorry, video, we can expand this panel. So here it is giving us that 8 resource it will get create, and now we can apply this. So now we are sure that this code will not break, because when we work in live projects and when we have multiple things inside a single Terraform configuration, so we need the sequential execution of all these things. And when we go for some interviews also, so this question is widely asked, how we can create dependencies of one resource to another resource so that there should be sequence maintained. So that we can do in this manner. So here first you are seeing resource group is getting created, and then virtual network is getting created. So a kind of sequence it will get create, and once the virtual network will get create, and then it will create the subnet. So once virtual network creation is done, after that it is doing subnet creation. So a sequence is getting happened here, so that no two resource can have dependency if they are not having any dependency. But suppose if subnet got created first and vnet not got created, so that code will get break and your Terraform will stop at that position where it is not finding the resource which the second resource is looking. So in this way we can make dependencies on the resources by using this depends on meta argument. So these are very important arguments that we use whenever we create any code in Terraform. So this is one of the most important topic, and we just looked initially what all these meta arguments are, and this is basically one of the meta argument that we can use in our Terraform code anywhere in that Terraform code. So in any resource we can use it. So now we can see that the IP is generated, so machine has been created, and once it is done, then we can destroy this resource by using the same command. Or if you want to get it login, you can log into this machine also to check whether it is created or not. So we can go inside it, we can use its username and password. Okay, so we are inside this machine. Now once we are done with our task, we can destroy this resource. And it will destroy also in sequential manner. So guys, in this way we can use depends on meta argument. I hope you understood the concept. If you understood the concept, just give a like to this video, and I'll see you in my next video.